Come on up. The GPS, would you like this prior to release or?
The scram you can't do prior to release, the GPS you can. So scram 1 day post-release.
The previous conditions as well.
Yeah.
Page 20, Wood.
Good morning, Mr. Woods. Trevion Woods. Mr. Woods, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
May I get the cause number for this?
2533 007.
Okay. Officers observed the defendant walking in the middle of the street when a sidewalk was available next to him. And the officers asked the defendant for his Texas driver's license.
Again,
Yes, Your Honor.
jaywalking,
Yes, Your Honor.
again,
The officers discovered a warrant out for the defendant's arrest out of McLennan County for aggravated sexual assault of a child. And the officers detained the defendant and discovered a gun and 6 grams of marijuana.
hold on. So what, walking while,
He was walking in the middle of the
while
street.
black again? Again, jaywalking? Where?
Let me read the office report.
It sounds like he was detained pursuant to the warrant.
But they didn't know that. I mean, it just, unless the officer knew him, I mean,
Yes, Your Honor. The DIMS just says the officer observed the defendant not walking or walking in the middle of the street.
so, dude, you gotta be careful in this life, man. You know, just do the right thing. It's not hard, man. All right, I'm gonna find no probable cause, Mr. Woods. You gotta be careful, man, you know? So is he on bond currently for the other case now as well, or no? You know what? Doesn't even matter. Just be careful in this life. You have but one life. How old are you? You're 24. What are you doing now? Working, school? Good. Get your education. The more you educate yourself, the higher you're gonna rise up in life. It correlates with money too. The higher education you got, more money you're gonna make in life, the better you are off. That's the rub. That's what you gotta do. All right? Okay, man. Hang tight for me, okay? Please. Miss Sexton, Mr. Smith wants to talk with you. Do you want to talk with me?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh. Hi, Mr. Smith. How are you?
I just wanted to apologize for my banter towards you this whole time.
You don't have to. I love the tenacity. I love the chutzpah, which you will, but channel that in a great way. Because if you do, the sky's the limit. Really.
This would have been over and done had I just came and approached you in a correct way instead of just being angry.
You know, let me tell you a story. I got pulled over a while back. The officer came to me. He was so aggressive. Why did you run that red light? What's wrong with you? So I said, you know what? I know I stopped. I swear I stopped. But the officer came at me like crazy. And I said, you know, I'm sorry. I was an idiot. Just, I'll do better next time. You know what he did? He let me go. So sometimes when you tuck your tail, you get more. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar, right? And it's always when you're with a person in power, especially with a person that has the power of arrest, you buck up to them, it's over. You're always going to lose. Just, that's what you do. It's called maturity as well, you know?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Smith. Hey, hi.
Morning, Your Honor. I'm approaching on Mr. Berry.
And who?
Mr. Berry.
That's it?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Wow. Look at you. Finally coming.
It's the problem ones, Judge, that
We'll still take you.
So we'll be opposed to a bond for this defendant. He, just in the past decade, because at some point I had to stop counting, he's been arrested 21 times in the past 10 years, 12 of them felonies, 2 revocation of paroles, and 3 evadings, 2 felonies, 1 misdemeanor. It's the definition of a flight safety risk. In addition to that, he was.
Hold on. Let's bring him out, please. I knew we shouldn't have started.
No, but,
I want him to hear this though.
that's fine, but there's something that I need to tell you.
Absolutely. I give you as much time as you want. I promise. Just as much time. But he needs to hear this as well, so that he gets it. So that whatever decision we make. Do you know if they're bringing him out? Bring him out? Okay. Morning, Mr. Berry. Okay, shh. Mr. Berry, we're bringing you out now because your lawyer has asked for me to set you a bond.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, I've got 2 main concerns. First, most importantly, are you a danger to my public? And number 2, equally as important, are you going to go back to the jurisdiction you're wanted from?
Permission to
Just wait,
speak?
just wait.
Oh.
No.
I'll give you a
No.
chance.
Yes, sir.
I know that you're gonna tell me that it's gumdrops and rainbows and I get it.
Sir.
But the way that I get to know you is how you look on paper, because that tells me who you are,
Sir.
not what's in here, because a lot of people tell me things and when they walk out the door, they turn into someone completely different.
Sir.
And so that will really tell me who you are.
Sir.
Okay. I will give you the opportunity to speak. I'm going to give her the opportunity to speak as well. I'd like to know, number 1, where is he wanted from, what for, and what kind of priors does he have?
Yes, Judge. He's wanted out of Fulton County, Georgia. On the front cover of the fugitive page, it states that he's wanted for theft of taking, but I did a little bit of digging and it looks like he's wanted for 4 felonies out of the same transaction. I don't know why they didn't include it on the teletype or running his FBI number to confirm. He's wanted additionally for 2nd-degree felony criminal damage to property and 2 charges for unlawful person employed by or associated with criminal street gang to conduct and participate in criminal activity through commission of offense. It's a very, very long charge name. But it looks like it was the same offenses that he was originally wanted and he was extradited for back in 2022. I guess he either absconded or violated them again, but it looks to be open cases. And specifically, addressing bond is that the state would be opposed for him granting a bond. In the past 10 years alone, not excluding other states and anything past that, he's been arrested 21 times, 12 of them felonies, 2 revocations of paroles, and 3 evadings, 2 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. I believe he's the definition of a flight and safety risk, and due to that fact, we request that the court deny bond.
Your Honor, if I may. So in regards to the telegram, because obviously the state has their duty, I have my duty as defense attorney. All of the other charges that were not on that telegram were dismissed. The case was reduced to theft. This case has been pending since God knows when, because Fulton County is a very slow court. Your Honor, here as I stand with the same client, I stood before you 2 years ago asking for a bond for my client to go back. He granted a bond, Your Honor. And when he granted that bond, my client did what you would want anyone to do, which is turn himself in, appear in court. They gave him another court date. However, no, once he checked himself in, he was able to bond out of Fulton County. Since then, that case has still been pending. He has an attorney in that county as well. However, throughout the times, my client moved. The issue was that there was supposed to be an updated address change to the court. So there was a court date, I believe around August the 12th. And because they did not update his address, the notice was sent to his old address. They immediately issued a warrant. So my client was actually picked up when he came back from work. He didn't even know that he had a warrant. And I understand the state's position that my client does have an extensive history. I was also his parole attorney, which he was successfully discharged from as well. I know Mr. Berry and I could stand for him before this court. Anybody that I have stood before you has always, I'm not gonna take a client that's gonna embarrass me or embarrass you. He came, last time you allowed and granted a bond. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. And if you do it this time, he would do that again.
I don't give bonds 2 times in a row. And I counsel people every single time when they come here that if I give you a bond now, it's not gonna happen again. It's your responsibility. You've been a fugitive once. We don't let you do it over and over and over. I gave you a bond last time. I can't keep doing it because you're going to keep it's the same thing's gonna keep happening.
It's not, sir, I promise you.
I get it, but it did. And I told you last time,
But it,
it's not gonna happen again.
yes, sir. Can I talk to you, please?
But Your Honor, it was not, so this.
How do I know that?
So I'm telling you this because I'm also an officer of the court and I've done my research, Your Honor. It was not his fault.
It wasn't.
It was not. It was just a mistake of address. That's the only reason why. I've been checking in
He's
with my client.
supposed to update them of
He
any
did.
change of address.
Can you
I
speak
did.
for
Can
that
I
part?
please talk to you, please?
So what I would do is reach out to Fulton County, let them know, and hopefully they'll pull the warrant. They'll pull the whole. Will they not?
Your Honor, I've had history with this county. They're very slow.
Yes.
It's very
Have you done
difficult.
work there?
Huh?
You've done work there?
For other clients.
Really?
Yes. Your Honor, can you just listen? Can you just hear him out
Please,
as to
I'm
why?
happy to hear you. Please.
Your
So
Honor.
with the regarding that you did update your address,
Yes,
specifically address that.
yes. Your Honor, the last time you gave me this bond, you told me to get a job and you told me to change my life. And I did that. I completed CDL school. I work every day.
Wonderful.
They put me on insulin. I take insulin 2 times a day. I can't, the way that they expedite you there, I'll be sick by the time I make it. My flight has already been the process of being booked, like you told me to left,
Can't take a flight.
But so
to turn myself in.
Mm-mm. You have a warrant. If you try to get on an airplane, they're gonna take you into
They let
custody.
me, last time you let me out. They let me take it.
so
I
tell me
turned-
about the address.
Okay, the address, I updated it, Your Honor. And,
How do I know that?
I mean, I didn't, I
Am I
had,
supposed to take your word for it?
I was honest with you last time about everything.
And that's why I gave you a bond.
But
And I
you're-
told you though,
you're-
the last time, it's not gonna happen again.
But you said if I messed up, and I did not mess up, Your Honor. I
Nope.
did good, Your Honor. I
Great.
promise you.
But now
You gave
something,
me 10 days to turn myself in. I turned myself in 6 days.
Your Honor, it was really because of the address change. And I
Please,
think-
Your
So
Honor.
if you're not going to at least believe him, you can hopefully.
it's not a matter of belief or disbelief.
Okay.
It's a matter of that we cannot continue to enable. That's what it is. And if I do this now, who's to say it's not gonna happen a third time?
It's
It's
not, Your
not,
Honor.
because-
Told me that the
dismissed
first
my
time.
cases.
They
They
dismissed.
dismissed 3 of the cases, Your
So
Honor.
from the time of this charge was pending, 3 of those cases were dismissed, Your Honor, and then the other cases were dismissed at that. Clearly, the
Yes,
reason why
sir.
it's pending is because they don't have anything, but it's not.
So what? I mean, can't you do a speedy trial? Ask for a speedy trial.
So he has an attorney on that court. It's just the court's very slow and it becomes very different. But
Yes,
what
Your
I,
Honor.
what I can assure you is it was just a mere mistake, Your Honor. Like,
So I just want to
Please,
step in
Your
real
Honor.
quick, because I've had one before where they stated it was a clerical error, and I want to say only one time out of all the other times I approached where it was a genuine clerical error. Once they corrected it in the demanding jurisdiction is they removed the warrant. I've had that happen before. So if the court wants to roll it over for a day, and if counsel wants to contact Fulton County to figure out if it was truly a clerical error and it was a misunderstanding of where it was to be shipped out for
But I
notice.
think what they're saying is that there was a problem where he's saying that he updated the address, but they didn't do it.
Sure, and that's what I mean, is if there was an error, right, with the court in
And
Fulton
reach out
County.
to them and see if that's the case.
well,
You can Google it, Your Honor. It was a glitch in Atlanta's.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Berry, how did you update your address?
I called a bond company. That's what they entrusted me to do.
To update it, right? No.
Well, so I don't really talk for their system, but that's what I mean, is if it's a mistake on the court, right, and not
So
not the
what
defendant.
I would do is get into contact with the bail bond company and say, hey, man, this is what we did. You didn't do it the right way. We're gonna, if you don't fix this, there's a bail bond board that you can report activities to in the event that they mess up.
Yes, sir, I understand, sir. Please, Your
Giving
Honor.
them one. I can't do it again. I never do, ever,
3 days and
No,
I'll
no.
be there.
Well, and it is also worth noting, it's probably good to update on the front end because he's on a deferred in our county before they revoke, because there was a warrant issued
It's
out.
also on deferred here.
He is,
For what?
for possession of controlled substance.
A less than a gram.
So, but the fact that he's open on deferred and no one has filed a motion to revoke, because initially all they see is the KPS issued on August 15th. They haven't filed a motion yet, but that's my point, is before anything else happens, if council does want to correct it for both reasons, for the extradition and for the local deferred, it's probably 2 birds, 1 stone to call Fulton County and figure out what happened with the court there.
Try that.
can we
can-
roll it tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely, of course. I would reach out to the bonding company, say, hey, man, I did this, you guys messed up, fix this, otherwise, we can file a complaint. You're telling me you did. If you did, then that's the right thing to do.
You know, I mean, I'm begging you, sir. I'm insulin independent now, and life has changed for me. I know I got in trouble in the past, but you instructed me to do something, and I done it step by step. I changed my life, everything, you know. And all
Barry,
I'm, sir,
the entire time I've been here, I've never once given a second bond.
So Your Honor, if I may, if we do.
Sure.
get information, would you be open?
I will never say no. But I don't know. I mean,
Well, I'd rather take, I don't know than no, so.
right. I don't know. I don't know. I never want to say no. Because you never know what someone else is going to provide you to show you that really it's not his fault. And if it's not, then,
Like I said, I've had it happen before where the court demanding
if
jurisdiction.
it's really not his fault, would you
And then-
post?
please,
No, but please, don't beg,
yes.
because last time we went in, you don't.
Yeah,
Let's see what they have. Let's go from there.
And I will-
I don't want to commit you to an answer. That's really not fair.
Yeah,
So-
and in the spirit of transparency, I do show that he hasn't had any violations since he entered in the deferred because it was concurrent with dismissal of the others.
Yes.
So other than this, there have been no other, but it was September of 2022, but it's just with the sheer amount of history, because it's one of the longest I've seen, that's my concern. And
Saying he's been doing good.
well, that's what,
He's
so,
been doing very good.
Right,
They
so that's what I
requested
mean.
early termination for me, sir.
So that's the thing, it's just,
Okay.
please.
so I want information from the court, because ultimately in the end, it's not whether, it's not the how they prosecute the case, it's whether he's wanted and whether the KBS is true.
Diligence.
So-
Let me see what you got and let's talk.
Okay, we can.
Never gonna, well, I'm not saying never, because I always put my foot in my mouth, but let's see what, and we can regroup. Okay? All right, Mr. Barry.
So tomorrow.
Thanks, Dave.